talking.
But I think, well, first of all, it is partially. But second of all, if you were to come into work tomorrow in a half shirt, we, as your friends, would say,
would you,
hey,
would you?
Never
I wore
let
a
us
sweater last. No, you wouldn't. I wore a sweater last week. It was a gray sweater, and I put it on because I'm fat, and so I put it on. But the sweater was apparently not big enough. Now I didn't notice it all day, but I went home and I watched the show, and I said, "Where the hell was everybody? Where's it?" And I'm telling,
we can't.
Where's the camera on? Tiffany, where the hell were you? Where were you? You're the producer. You're supposed to say, Glenn.
Well, we can't nitpick every one of those things. I mean,
no, I know, but
we'd never have another conversation.
I mean, I looked like a whale, for the love of Pete. And I know I usually do, but a whale. It was like, oh my gosh, I've seen Free Willy, but I've never seen him at a chalkboard before. I mean, you guys could help me out from time to time. Everybody, I mean, I know I wear things that people are like, okay, don't wear that. But that's too bad. Well, but I mean, geez, when I look like a whale.
I think the issue here, though, is your perception of how you look on other days, which is not much
Like
different.
we could differentiate that day from any other.
Right.
I mean,
it's the same.
How did this
You're
go
asking
awry?
the impossible.
Okay, so let's change the subject. Let's change the subject.
Yeah.
First, if you have a chance to see Martina McBride, she's unbelievable. Just great. Great entertainer, great performer, unbelievable singer, and just great. Next, Penn Jillette. Penn and Teller. I was a little nervous because, again, nobody in our party was dressed as a hooker. It's Vegas. Some of the people they brought up on stage were hammered out of their mind. Hammered out. This woman came up, and they were doing magic to her. But she was so drunk, I could have just said, and you're a frog. And she would have been, oh, my gosh, I'm a frog. She was so hammered out of her mind. But I was a little nervous because he is also an atheist and hardcore libertarian. And so, like, Penn's friends don't like me. And I'm not sure Penn really likes me that much. But
seems to, though, I would say.
No, he seems to. I really like him. The problem is that he is very anti-religious, and I'm very anti-atheist that are hostile. You know what I mean? If you're an atheist, I don't really care. Jesus loves you, but I don't really care. And I just don't. I have a problem with the hostile atheist. And Penn, for a long time, was a hostile atheist towards me. But I have no problem. So I'm bringing my mother-in-law and everybody else to the Penn and Teller show, who do a show on Showtime, which I can't even tell you the name of it. And I'm thinking, oh, is this going to be a nightmare? Is this going to be a nightmare? This was one of the best shows I've seen. Was wildly patriotic, extraordinarily libertarian, very, very clever, very, very funny, truth-telling. I mean, it really is a great show. If you can go take somebody, I mean, they burned the American flag. And he had the flag out there, and luckily it was way into the show because I knew he wasn't going to. And he's taking down the American flag, and they're going to set it on fire, and I'm like, wonder how I'm going to feel about this. And I'm actually debating in my own head. I believe you have the right to burn the flag. I'm against flag burning amendments. I believe you have the right to burn the flag. That's what it stands for. I wouldn't. I don't. But you have that right. And at one point, Penn Jillette said in the deal, he said, we just hope that you're thinking. We just hope that you're thinking and expanding, and you're really curious about what you really believe. I thought it was great, but wildly, wildly patriotic. Not something I expected. And no hookers. Nobody dressed as hookers, at least on stage.
No. In the crowd, I'm sure there
was
many.
Crowd, there was tons of them. I'm like, did you pay everybody in this? I mean, Penn. I mean, I don't know if this is what you engage in, you godless animal. But I mean, did you have to have 1,400 of them here? Really?
It's a great show, though, and you're right in describing it as really patriotic. I mean, it's not the delivery
really
system you're used to when you're.
No.
It's not Lee Greenwood. I mean, for all that Lee Greenwood does,
which is great.
Yeah, but
which is great.
Completely different way of delivering what a great country America is.
He was so. And I mean, at one point they were, they said, "We love this country. We love this country," and you can make it here. But they also challenged it. I mean, they did something, and I was late because I had to work. But you saw something with the TSA.
Not
I mean,
fence.
they took on the TSA. They took on the Second Amendment. I mean, the end thing with guns is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, they really were pushing hard.
You'd appreciate this, Pat. They were selling, and I think they're selling them on their website or whatever, Bill of Rights, mini Bill of Rights for your pocket, intentionally made out of metal. So when you go through the metal detector, you actually have to give them your rights. Like you're actually handing over your rights.
Oh, I want
once they
that.
call you out. How great!
Oh, did they talk about that on the
Yeah,
stage?
that was what they did in the TSA thing.
I've got to get a copy of those. That's fantastic. And then I had a run-in with Tim Allen. I had to give the speech.
Run-in?
Yeah, I had a run-in with Tim Allen. I mean, it wasn't a meeting. I mean, what do you call it?
You just bumped into Tim Allen?
I did. I bumped into Tim Allen.
He
Tim
was
Allen
playing.
He was playing.
Venetian,
Yeah, the Venetian where we were staying, and I had to do a speech for a conference at the Venetian, and there's this room of like 16 people that were there before some sort of meet and greet thing, and all of a sudden Tim Allen is there, and I'm like, "Hey, you're Tim Allen." He's like, "Yeah, I know that," and I'm like, "Hey, what's up with you?"
You're a good conversationalist.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
because you don't talk to people. I don't talk to people like that. What do I talk to? You're from Hollywood. You've done movies and stuff. What the hell? You're here to kill me? Is this if you start putting plastic down on the floor? I get it. He was just very nice and very gracious and humble and really surprisingly nice. And I mean, I don't say that because I expect him to be nice, but not to me. But he was really very very nice. And his show, and I didn't see it, but a friend of mine saw it and said, filthy dirty. However, he brings up California, living in California at one point, about halfway through, and he's like, "We're not free. We're not a free nation anymore." It's like, I don't care what you think. The last 5 years have been a nightmare. And he said, "Go ahead, put your kid on their bike without a helmet. In California, you won't do that because there's too many laws, and your neighbor will call and report you for not putting." He's like, "That's freedom? That's good stuff." Not exactly funny, but really good stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure it was funny, but in real terms, horrifying is really a better description.
Yeah. Well, if you could just say it while dressed as a hooker, I might pay for the show.